Okay, so here we are. It's our second morning meeting of our second Greenwater Campout 2017. We've had quite a bit of rain since yesterday. It's starting to lighten up. Hopefully it's going to quit today. So we probably got some pretty limited experiences to share with you, but we're still going to go around the group and collect them anyway. So we'll start over here with Courtney. Anything?
Nope.
Nope. Mayno?
Nope.
Nope. Debbie?
Nope.
Jen?
I thought I saw moans. I heard moans and kind of like Bigfoot or like knocks or kind of like foot.
Stomps?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
Okay, cool. And that was out behind your tent?
That
Or?
was behind our tent.
Okay, while you were sleeping?
While we were sleeping.
Okay. How long after you went to bed did that happen?
I think that was 11:30.
Speak up, speak up.
11:30, maybe 12.
Okay, right on, cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Lee?
Only thing we really had was we went to our gifting area yesterday and it was very wet. But as we were coming back out, Jenny and I and Mitch heard a scream from across the river. It was almost like they were saying, hey, they left some pie.
Awesome.
And, then as we got closer to the cars, there was a glyph left.
Yeah.
That was really cool, and I have a picture of it. That was really cool.
Okay, cool. Did you guys have another rock thrown yesterday?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
All right. Sam?
Well, I was around when you had an experience. I'm going to let you tell that story about last night.
Last night? That was the night before.
Was the night? Are you sure?
Yeah. It all blends together, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. That was the night before.
Okay.
Well, then the big story is I missed a day somehow. Yeah.
Physically, you were still here.
Yeah, I had a lot going on yesterday.
Okay.
But no, not really. It's just been the rain and everything. Although I did hear some faint things, but I can't really be sure.
Okay.
So.
All right. Sandy?
Yes, so I stayed up with you last night. It was about 12:30. Got to sleep, did well. I was awakened this morning really early by something going around my tent and the little trees, bushes hitting the tent again.
Oh.
So I laid there, it was raining, and I was trying to figure out what it was, and I started deducting that it couldn't have been a Sasquatch because I've got all of those lines holding down my rain flap and such. So I thought, and then fear took over.
Oh,
I
no.
couldn't figure it out. I was trying to differentiate between the raindrops and what I was hearing rustling behind my tent again. So at one point, it went on, and I just got so frustrated, and I tried to calm myself down, but I finally just said, all right, and I sat up and I turned my light on. I did a penny. And because the fear just took over. I just felt fear swell up, and I was trying to calm myself down, but it wasn't working, and the hair was standing up on the back of my head, and I was like, what in the world? So I looked at the clock, and it was 3:42. Turned the light off, laid down. I was on my right side, left arm up on my side, still awake, listening, and something poked me in the arm between my arm and my side. Just poked me.
Inside your tent?
Inside my tent.
Not through the tent.
No,
Inside your tent.
because
Okay.
I was like, what in the heck? And so I was like, there's no one else in this tent. There is no one else in this tent, right? So I stuck my arm out, and I was about my arm length away from the side of the tent. So a spiritual somebody poked me through my sleeping bag, through the 2 blankets. Oh
Jack!
God,
Jack! It's okay. It's okay. She's with us.
Oh my gosh. So the last time I looked at the clock, it was 10 to 5, and I just knew my night was over. That was it.
Wow.
I wasn't gonna sleep.
Okay, well, congratulations.
Yeah, it reminded me of when we went with Tom over to the Blue Mountains, remember?
Oh,
And I
yes.
got poked, and
Yes.
I went like that, I flinched. But when I got poked, I actually sat up in there. I actually got up on my elbow because it was a poke. And
Awesome.
my little thermal was actually stuck under my arm, and when I got up, it released. So
Wow.
it was interesting, but it reminded me when we were over by the river.
And he
I
said his
said
teacher
something
was there.
poked me, and you were like, I said a limb poked me, and you said, no, there's no limb.
Yeah, I know,
And I
because you
went, "I
almost
know."
fell into me. I was in front of you.
I know.
And yeah, I kind of caught you from going over. And you're like, oh, a stick or limb's a branch. And then there's no branch, there's no tree
branch.
behind
Yeah,
you.
So, but yeah, there was nothing there. But I definitely flinched, and away from it. So it was interesting.
Wow, very cool. Anything else?
No,
That was enough. Okay, all right.
I'm good.
Okay, all right. Well, Mitch, anything from you?
No pokes, no knocks, no giant tarps cloaking as Bigfoot. No, just yesterday on the walk, just hearing some yelps at the gifting site, which is, but it was pretty faint. On the gifting site, we, Tina and Teresa and I discovered pretty big footprints, and I took photo evidence of it.
Awesome.
And,
Can you send me those so I can share those with our viewers?
Yeah, they're
okay.
they were pretty clear, distinct, and maybe a size 15 shoe. I had a metatarsal break and
Wow.
see toes, and it was cool.
Well,
It's
that's
it was on an
exciting.
elk trap, close to the gifting site, 40 yards.
Okay.
So, yeah, that was exciting.
Very cool. Okay, that's it then?
That's it.
Well, thank you very much. Okay, Vic, anything? No? Kevin?
I went on a 3-mile walk up the road this morning, and really nothing other than heard a woman sneeze on the downhill side before where the road switched back again, where you could see down to the next road, the switchback road. I pegged it for about that area, but didn't see anything.
Okay, but it sounded like a woman that sneezed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and yeah, once again, there's no other campsites up above us. We are basically the last people on this road. So, all right, cool. Thank you. Teresa?
Well, I have a gifting site behind the RV, and there's a rock cairn inside the hula hoop. So I put a strawberry out last night, right on the top with a little flower and everything. And I checked this morning. The berry had rolled off or fallen off or whatever off the cairn. So then I put the berry right back on the rock cairn and came down here, and I went back up to get to that hat, and I look at it, and the berry was moved away from the top. There was a pretty good little bite out of it. So I set off to the side. I was like, that's funny. Somebody came along, took a bite while we were all right here. So
Was it a big bite out of it or a little nibble?
about half the berry.
Really? Oh, that's
Huh?
yeah.
That's cool.
That's something
Yeah,
big.
right.
That was them letting you know that they were there.
Yeah,
And
probably
didn't you
gonna
have
leave
a
some
shell
more.
that disappeared?
Well, Gabby laid on our little area there where we had a glyph and a seashell, and Abby laid on it, and then you found the seashell later. It's all good.
Oh, okay, all right then.
Gabby's fault.
Okay, yeah, it's always okay to blame Gabby. Have no worries about that. Okay, Linda?
Well, it was busy. We went to Lee and Jenny's beautiful site. I've never seen such beauty in my life. I mean, it was just gorgeous. And they had seen a footprint. Nothing really happened there. I came back and I went to take a nap, and I heard a limb break down by our tent area by the river. It was a pretty big limb break. I mean, it was obvious. And then I fell in the toilet.
So sorry about that.
It's okay. It was a very busy day. And then last night, the thing that really impressed me was the thrushes. I'd never heard thrushes before. And they were all around us. And then I saw movement up there this morning.
Okay.
That's it.
But on the thrushes, I'd like to point out that, you know, they are kind of a seasonal thing when they whistle. And we haven't really heard any thrushes since we've been here. It's a little late for them to be doing that. They normally do it when the sun is coming up or when the sun is going down or when the rain stops. Well, it was pouring down rain hard when it happened. And what I think is really interesting is they were going off all around us. They didn't quite sound right. And the minute you pulled out a recorder to start recording them, they stopped.
Yeah,
and we haven't really heard any since. So
yeah, I felt
yeah.
awful about that.
Really metallic sounding. I mean, I listen to birds all the time, and they just did not
Yeah.
sound like the regular very thrust
Yeah,
bird.
they were a little off, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
Well,
cool.
that they came from.
It was
seemed
all
at least
around.
3 different
Yeah.
areas. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was neat.
That was cool. Hey, Mitch, your hand went up over there?
I heard this morning, early in the morning, about 3 to 4 thrushes.
Okay, now see, that's the right time of day to hear them. Yeah.
I did hear them, and
Okay.
it was beautiful to wake up to. So.
Oh, one of my favorite sounds. To me, when I hear that in late February is usually when they start, and for me, that's my favorite sound. It means spring has arrived, or well, close enough. Winter's done. Okay, so anything from you?
Yeah, we went to the gifting area earlier, and it was a beautiful walk. We found some kind of unusual stick structures that didn't look like they could have happened naturally, that they might have been placed. And then when we got down to the river, we walked along the river. I just got this kind of sense that we were being watched. I don't know, you know, it could have been anything. But then we got to the gifting site. It was obvious that it was non-bear, non-rodent activity, because the bucket's up in the air and the pie was taken out of the bucket. No damage to the bucket. The bucket was still hanging. And it looked like somebody just opened the lid, just like a human would, and ate the pie. No bite marks, no crunch, no tearing of the packaging or anything, which I thought was cool. And they didn't really, they had some pinwheels and a little noisemaker. It didn't seem like they touched anything there, but they really went for the food. And then we started kind of doing a perimeter around, and we found one track in a elk wallow that was I don't know, what we think, size 13 or something. Anyway, then we found another track, but we couldn't find where it was the same line of the same animal walking, so it might have been multiple. We're not sure. But then I lost my glasses somewhere between there and the gifting site, and you know, I didn't really go very off the trail or the road or the trail at all. We never found the glasses, so we're hoping that they'll be on the gifting site. So that's one reason why I want to go back, just to see if my glasses got found, you know. And then we got a little obnoxious last night. We were kind of spinning lights around, and we had the music cranked, and we were dancing. You know, we've had Squatch behavior by being obnoxious and loud and boisterous and happy, and we've had them come right into our camp. So our thinking was maybe we could do that last night, but nothing really happened. But right after we went to bed in the motorhome, I heard this tap, 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 like 2 sticks on a rock, you know, like you're practicing your drumming or something. I thought that was weird, not a grouse. And then I hear this big X, like you're breathing out, like a big sigh, kind of like a... And I'm thinking he's probably glad that I turned the music off. He just didn't like the Temptations. He's just not into the 60s music or something. You know. But that was pretty much it. But it was a great day. It was wonderful.
All right, awesome.
Well, can
Cool.
I say one thing about the gifting area? Those jars were empty. But I mean, it was like they were cleaned out, weren't they? It was like there was nothing left in.
And no damage to the jars.
I mean, how do they eat all of that out of the jar?
I
Get
don't know.
everything.
It could be that once they're done with it, you know, then the rodents come in and finish cleaning it up, you know, so you got to...
The jars were off. The lids were all off the jars. I went around and picked all the jars up, and all the lids I found near the jars.
One of the
weren't put
jars.
back on.
One of the jars had slugs in it, so your
Yeah.
theory might be right that there was some residue in there.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to figure once those lids are removed and they're dropped, they're open for whatever's around that wants a meal. So you got to figure there's going to be other things out there besides the Bigfoots to take advantage of it. So, all right then, I guess that wraps up our second meeting for our June camp out here in Greenwater. And hopefully the rain is going to let up and it's going to dry out and we're going to get out and have some awesome experiences. And we'll be back tomorrow morning to share them all with you then. So... Can't wait to see what's going to happen next. Woohoo! Okay, so one more thing here. We just wrapped up our morning meeting. Oh, canopy. Okay, one more thing here. We just wrapped up our morning meeting, and apparently Courtney has found something in her car. What's going on over here?
Look at the door.
You know whose that is?
Oh my gosh!
You know whose that is? That's Linda's.
No, that's the one she put in her tent.
That's Linda's.
No, she put it in her tent. That's
I know.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Linda, your stick is in my car now.
Oh my God, it was missing.
Look at
No,
that.
you had it at the tent.
But it was gone today.
That's what I'm saying. It's in my door.
So
Oh
it
my
disappeared
God.
from your
Yeah,
glyph.
so I
You
thought
lost-
it
you
was the
lost
rain. Yeah, I thought the rain had obliterated it because there's one piece that's all yucky.
Wow.
And so I didn't see that. Oh my God.
That's crazy.
That is absolutely. So you just opened the door
I
and
just
went.
opened the door and was like, what the?
Got picked up.
And her door was unlocked
And
too.
my door was unlocked. My wallet was in
Yeah.
here and everything. I mean,
Nobody took anything. So
Holy
it's like,
smokes! Oh, that's
Wow.
just awesome.
yeah.
So cool.
No, leave it there. Leave it there. Let other people look at it.
I'm going to leave this car at home. I'm going to bring my Expedition back up. I got to bring the
She
generator.
took a picture.
I took a couple
remember
And,
pictures.
that, and this is exactly Linda's too, wasn't it?
I remember that
Yeah.
exact one on the hike behind your
Look at
place.
that. That
Yeah.
is
Oh,
like-
that is an amazing.
That is so cool.
Ha! Check that out. That is a very unusual thing.
Were you scared when you opened the door?
I'm just like, what the heck? How did that get in my car?
Alright, this is Linda. It was missing from her
I
tent.
picked it up on the ground.
It was from my door thing.
Thank you.
How cool is that?
I'm gonna go put it back and I'll.
Don't die. When you come back.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Wow.
Right on.